Well, now I have him on audio. Do you know, Shannon, that's cost my family tens of millions of dollars?
Yeah. Is he gonna he's gonna compensate you for that?
So ask him, will he compensate my family for that?
That sounds like a shakedown to me. She mentioned something in this interview that made all the hairs on my back stand up. This is what she said. I saw this headline when I was working on this video, and it said, Monique apologizes to Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. And I thought, oh, I think she's learning. I think she's finally growing. Maybe I don't need to make this video. And then I clicked on the apology.
Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry, I want to apologize for telling y'all to suck.
So I guess I'm still making this video. Hi, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe if you want to hear me talk about social media, pop culture, and other topics. And let's get right into it. Like I said in my last video, I wanted to touch on the Cat Williams and Monique interviews that were done on Club Shay because I wanted to expand on the larger topic of meanness in our culture, in our society, how we have become so accustomed to it and how we crave this type of entertainment, people just being mean as a form of entertainment. Well, after finishing the Monique interview, I said, no, I need to talk specifically about Monique. I can talk about Cat Williams at another time, or maybe not, because I think the Monique interview highlighted something that I think is very important for us to understand, especially women. We are very relationship focused. It is something that is very important to us. We're very social beings. And I think it's important for us to learn how to manage our emotions so we don't allow our emotions to mess up the rest of our lives. Now, if you look at the beginning of that interview, when he asked her about her background and what made her want to get into show business.
Well, what did a young Monique want to be?
Just what I'm doing right now, baby.
You dreamed of this.
So I always wanted to be famous.
It was very interesting that she said, I wanted to be famous. I saw the Jackson 5 and I saw how they were admired and loved, and the audience applauded and screamed their names. And I thought, well, I want them to scream my name too. For Monique, it's about the love, the attention. That's what it's all about. And I'm going to touch on that a little later. But that's really what she wanted getting into this business. But you hear that word, business? That's what this industry, the entertainment industry, is all about. It's a business. It's about dollars and cents. And if Monique is going to make this about dollars and cents, about money, then she needs to start thinking like a businesswoman. And the problem with Monique is that she is going about this the wrong way. She is focusing on the relationships, the disappointments, basically just exposed all the grievances that she has with people in the industry. This is something that's very typical of Monique. Anytime you have seen her going on live, doing videos, doing interviews, it's always about who did her wrong. And it's more like a ruminating. You know what ruminating is? It's when you just keep going over something over and over and over, and there is no resolution. There is no relief. You just keep chewing the same thing over and over again. And this time, Monique seems to be zeroing in on Tyler Perry, because she seems to have had a phone conversation with him. Her and her husband, Sydney, had a conversation over the phone with Tyler, which they secretly recorded. We're going to talk about this. We need to talk about this. But they secretly recorded this. And not only did they record it secretly, but then they went around giving the recordings to different people.
We sent you the audio of Tyler Perry, the Reverend Al Sharpton. I sent him that audio. He listened to it. Our beautiful sister, Stephanie Mills. I told her what happened, sent her the audio. Now, I don't know if she listened to that audio or not.
And Monique feels that she's justified in doing this because she feels that she was the victim of an injustice that was perpetrated by Tyler Perry. Monique believes that the reason why she hasn't been getting a lot of jobs lately, or any jobs lately, is because Tyler Perry started and spread a rumor that she is difficult to work with. I listened to the recordings that were leaked. They were finally leaked onto the internet. So it wasn't anymore a case that she was just going to different people and giving them the recording. Apparently the recording has leaked and it's now on the internet. And when I heard it, I'm not going to play it because I believe that this was a recording that was obtained immorally, if not illegally. And I'm sorry, Monique, but this is not the smoking gun you think it is. In that recording, if I heard correctly, if I heard the whole thing, he admits to telling a specific individual, what was his name? David Talbert. He told this individual, I guess he asked him, what was your experience working with Monique? And David said, I worked with her and we had a wonderful relationship. It worked out really well. And Tyler then says to him, well, for me, it wasn't a good experience. She was difficult to work with. That is, from what I understand, all that Tyler admits to. He told David Talbert that Monique was difficult to work with. And Monique has taken this to mean that he ruined her reputation in the industry and that she can't work anymore because of that rumor. He only admits to telling this one man. Now, this individual, David Talbert, like Tyler indicated, told him that he had a great working experience with Monique. So why would the person who had a good experience working with Monique then go around and spread that Monique is difficult to work with if he was the only person that Tyler told this to? If Tyler said this to this individual and he had a good working relationship with Monique, I believe that's where it died. That's where it ended. In no part of the recording does Tyler say, yes, I went and I told this person and that person and that person and that person. That's not what is being told. He just said, I told this individual, and Monique took that to mean, oh, that's how the rumor got started. She truly believes that Tyler Perry was the only person who started this rumor, who made this up and then spread the rumor throughout the industry. But I wonder, based on everything we have seen with Monique, with the conflicts that she has with different people, is Tyler Perry the only person who would walk away from working with Monique feeling like this was not an easy experience? She was not easy to work with. I would submit to you that based on her own words, on the things that she says that she does when she works with people, that there's a lot of people in the industry who've already had experiences with her, who don't want to work with her anymore, and who probably have told other people that they don't want to work with her. She tells the story of the reason how she fell out with these people, with Tyler Perry, with Oprah, with Lee Daniels, with Lionsgate, which is a distribution company. Put a pin on that. She had a problem with all these people because when the movie Precious, after it debuted and it was under Oscar consideration, these individuals asked her to please help promote the movie at the Cannes Film Festival. And she refused to go because, number one, she was exhausted, she was tired, she had already been working, she wanted to spend time with her family. And number two, she would have been willing to still go ahead and do it if they had paid her. Well, apparently, and I didn't know this, I'm not that familiar with everything in the industry, apparently they don't pay the actors to go and promote the movie after the movie has already premiered. But Monique said, no, I want to be with my family and you're not willing to pay me to stay away from my family. So the answer is no. And apparently this rubbed several people in the industry the wrong way. Not just Tyler Perry, but also Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels, Lionsgate. Has she thought about the fact that Lionsgate is an entire company and that the fact that she told them no repeatedly, her words, repeatedly she said no to them?
So after I'm done with my promotions, Lionsgate reaches out to my husband and they say, we want Monique to come to Cannes. We want her to go international and promote the movie and do Cannes.
Okay.
Please let them know I respectfully decline. I appreciate it, but I respectfully decline. I'm gonna spend some time at home. Lionsgate calls back. We really would like for Monique to come to Cannes, promote this movie. Please let them know I respectfully decline. I'm gonna spend time with my family. Lionsgate calls back and says, what is it gonna take for us to get Monique to come to Cannes?
Don't you think, Monique, that there were several people, some higher ups, who got rubbed the wrong way, and they spread the rumor that you are difficult to work with? To be clear, I don't think Lionsgate was justified in being angry at Monique not wanting to do something she was not contractually obligated to do. However, I'm pointing out the fact that they could have been the source of the rumors. She's putting it all on Tyler Perry, and I don't think it's fair. I think Lionsgate and others could have started that rumor that she was difficult to work with. And they're not the only people. She gave an incident about she worked in a movie, it was a Christmas movie, I believe, and she was offended because a PA went into her trailer when she was getting her makeup done, and she told her makeup person or her hair person, why are you barefoot? And that rubbed her the wrong way. So she made sure to call I believe it was the production person, called him into the trailer and said, why is she talking to my makeup? All these things make you seem difficult to work with. And I can imagine that there's a laundry list of people out there who have been telling their experiences. Hollywood is a very small town. People go to lunch, people talk, and they say, hey, how was it working with so-and-so? And they'll say, oh, let me tell you about that. There's a bunch of people in the industry that I'm sure have had bad experiences with Monique.
People better be glad my husband is by my side. Because there are people in Hollywood that know wherever you act up is where I show up. People know in Hollywood, baby, Shannon, and I don't say it with a badge of honor, it's just what it is. Well, I've had to say, who you think you talking to? And we're sitting there with the president of the studio or my patience level.
And they have made the narrative known that Monique is difficult to work with. Now, it seems to me that things are getting tight and the money's not coming in, and that Netflix special money probably has been spent, and Monique is looking for another source of income. She has burnt enough bridges in the industry that she knows she can't be going around asking for jobs. And remember, didn't Monique say this?
I've never auditioned. When I first came to Hollywood, I told AJ Johnson and I told a sister named Kimberly Brooks, I said, I'm not auditioning. And they was like, okay.
She says she doesn't audition. If roles are not offered to her, she's not gonna take it. So what happens when people stop offering you roles and you refuse to audition because you refuse to humble yourself and say, you know what? I need to work. I need a job. Let me look at some scripts. Let me look at what's being filmed out there. Let me look at what's in pre-production, and let me see if I can audition for some roles. But she refuses to do that because she feels that she is above that's beneath her. So you refuse to humble yourself. You have burned a lot of bridges in the industry. What do? You hit up somebody that you know has a lot of money, that you secretly recorded, and you use this as a reason to say, you're gonna pay me because you are the reason why I'm not getting any jobs. That sounds like a shakedown to me. That sounds like somebody is trying to, I don't want to say extort, but girl, no. And what she has done, I think she has burned a very important bridge. Because not only is Tyler Perry never going to have anything to do with her, Oprah Winfrey, even Lee Daniels, who eventually apologized for not being very kind to her, all these people are going to just say, you know what, let's wash our hands, we're done with her. But also, other people in the industry are seeing this. This interview is making the rounds, the audio is making the rounds, and people are saying, oh, not only are you difficult to work with, but you're out here secretly recording phone calls with people that you considered your friend at some point. You're recording phone calls and then leaking them to the internet. Oh, nobody's ever going to offer her another role unless it's somebody, I don't know, somebody who is of her mentality, who wants to shake things up, who wants to appeal to the audience that is still, cackling and kikiing and laughing and thinking that this is entertainment. This meanness is entertainment. Yeah, they're the only ones who might be interested in that. But that audience, they tend to be broke. So I really don't know. What I do know is that she mentioned something in this interview that made all the hairs on my back stand up. This is what she said.
I got a show called The Parkers. After I was in Hollywood less than 90 days.
Wow.
And everybody always said to me, you want to get the syndication. You want to get the syndication. Once you get the syndication, you work because you want to work.
Right.
Well, 3 years in, The Parkers was in syndication. Now, no one told me that. By 2009, The Parkers had made $800 million. And they're trying to convince Countess Vaughn and I that that show made no money. That show has made over $2 billion, and I'm guesstimating. And you want to convince us that our percentage, we made no money? We can't allow that to happen.
Right.
That's why we're fighting. That's why we're saying, no, guys, we can't sit on our hands like that.
Right.
Hold on. You're telling me that you're supposed to be getting some money from syndication. You made a deal with the studio that sold and distributed your show, that when they made money in syndication, you would get a percentage of that. And you believe that the show, which I believe The Parkers is still going on, has made over $2 billion in syndication? And you're not doggedly chasing that bag? Because let me tell you, Monique, I was doing some finding out and some research. If this is true, she's entitled to, at the very least, $100 million. Why aren't you chasing that money? Monique, those are the people you need to be chasing. These are the people you need to be running after. You're chasing small potatoes. You're trying to shake down Tyler Perry. Yeah, he's a billionaire. But this is a major billion-dollar corporation that's holding on to money that they owe you. Why aren't all your lawyers, your daddy, Sydney, why isn't everybody barking under that tree? There is your generational wealth. This is the kind of money that you can open your own production company with. You can open your own studio with that kind of money. You never have to wait for somebody to bring you a role. Honey, you can create your own roles. You can option books, film your own movies, hire your own actors, hire directors that you know you can work with. Why is a Monique chasing this? You know why? You know why instead of chasing these people, she's chasing Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey? Because it's personal. Because it's personal. She is allowing her feelings, the complicated feelings she has with her family. She touched on this on the interview. She had a very complicated relationship with her mother. And I believe that the Oprah thing, that's a mama thing. That is a mother thing. And she is allowing these feelings, this trauma, to mess with her bag. Honey, you are letting money sit by the wayside. She kind of mentioned it like, yeah, we're kind of working on that. That should be what she is talking about 24/7. I don't want to hear her talk about Tyler Perry anymore. She should be talking about this. And the fact that she's letting that go, or at least letting it down by the wayside, and not making that her focus, and instead focusing on people that are not going to give her $100 million simply because she's hurt. And see, this is the problem I have with Sydney, her husband, her daddy. He's not helping her. He is just going along with whatever she says because she's his employer. And this is why it's not good to mix family with business, because family is the last frontier. When you've talked to everybody, all the yes people, all the people on your payroll, when you want to really get the real, you go to your family because they have nothing to lose by telling you the truth. So if Sydney was her husband instead of just her manager, he would say, babe, it makes more sense for you to pursue this other thing, your syndication money. There's more money there. You can really shake this up. The Parkers, I love the Parkers. It is such a great show. I believe it's still going around. It's still being aired. That show is making good money that you could be making from that. Monique would never have to work another day in her life if she gets that money. He should be saying, honey, instead of pursuing Tyler and all these people, why don't we focus on these people? Which, I don't know, maybe what they told her about syndication, she never got it in writing. And maybe that's why she's not so hopeful about getting that money. But my goodness, Monique, you're like a dog with a bone and you won't let it go. And you're just ruminating on this thing. But Sydney's not going to tell you that because he just wants his check to clear. Monique has convinced herself that the only reason why her phone is not ringing anymore is because Tyler started and spread a rumor about her. And she said, for the last 12 years, this has cost my family millions and millions of dollars. You know what happened 12 years ago? Monique won the Oscar. Actually, it was 14 years ago. Sorry. And I remember watching that night. I was so happy for her. Mrs. Barker got an Oscar. I was so happy. And she went up there, and this is what she sounded like.
And the winner is Monique. Impressions based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
First, I would like to thank the Academy for showing that it can be about the performance and not the politics. I want to thank Miss Hattie McDaniel for enduring all that she had to so that I would not have to. To my amazing husband, Sidney, thank you for showing me that sometimes you have to forego doing what's popular in order to do what's right. And baby, you were so right.
And she went up there on the night that she achieved the ultimate accolade for acting. And this is what she did. I remember watching this. I had not heard about what was going on in the background about her not wanting to promote the movie and blah, blah, blah. Apparently, the industry was talking about it. See, everybody was talking about it, apparently, not just Tyler. So when she got up there and she was looking so angry, and I remember looking, why is she angry? She just won an Oscar. I don't understand. I'm confused. Why isn't she smiling and celebratory and just being joyful? Because she cannot leave well enough alone. She's the type of person that will forever regurgitate her grievances, how unhappy she is. Why did you not pay me the same that you paid this person? Why is she getting paid more money? Because she has brought in more money. And she says, what about the resume? It's about my resume. No. Remember what we said at the beginning? It's a business. This is a business. It's not even about who's the most talented person. It's about who brings in the most money. That's what it's always going to be. But Monique is that little girl who saw the Jackson 5 getting all the applause and the accolades. And she said, I want that. I want to feel that love. I want them to love me like that. And whenever she doesn't feel that love, she will burn everything around her. She will burn the money around her. And until she learns to let go of her feelings and to keep it professional, she's always going to be losing. That phone is not going to ring. Not because of Tyler Perry, but because you kept your eye on the personal, you let go of the professional, and that's why you're in the situation you're in. Eventually, at one point, Monique started talking about her experience getting to Hollywood and how lucky she was that less than 6 months after she arrived here, she already had her own show. And I really like this anecdote that she gave.
I remember when I got my first parking lot at the Parkers. I didn't know I had a parking space. And they would send out emails to say, if you're here for the Parkers, park outside the gate. So I would park outside the gate.
Yeah.
So I would walk across the parking lot all the way over to the set, to the stage, till a brother named William Tripp was in a golf cart one day. He said, Mo, what you doing? I said, why are you walking across the parking lot? I said, oh, because they said if you with the parkers, you gotta park outside the gate. That brother laughed, but it was a brotherly laugh. He said, come here, baby, let me show you something. And I got on that golf cart, and he drove me to my parking space that had my name on it. That was a moment for me. Like I'm pulling up to a studio, and that's my name. That's the little fat black girl from Baltimore, Maryland, who was in the slow class. That's the little fat black girl from Baltimore, Maryland, who didn't have a lot of friends. A lot of people didn't want to deal with me, but that's my name on that parking space.
Those are the stories I wanted to hear. This is what I want to know. This is the part of Monique's story that I want to hear, that I want to be inspired by. This is a very inspirational woman. She's very talented. She works really hard. She came from very little, and she made something amazing out of the opportunities that just were thrown at her feet. And I would prefer, she's always talking about, oh, I'm doing this for the babies, the people that come behind me. Your stories of struggle and triumph, that's the greatest legacy that you can leave for the babies. The know-how, the let me tell you what happened when it looked like everything was lost. This is how I overcame this. This is how I learned my lines. These are some tricks that I use to learn my lines. This is how I ingratiate myself with the studio heads and the people that hire me and the people that I have relationships with. This is what's gonna come in handy for you when you are going through these experiences in Hollywood. That is the greatest legacy that she can leave behind for the people coming behind her. But as long as she's fighting with everybody and scorching every bridge around her, she's not helping herself and she's not helping the babies. Because if this is the example the babies are going to follow, they're going to end up just like you, at home with a husband depending on you financially and a phone that's not ringing. And friends that don't call anymore because they're afraid that you're going to be secretly recording them. I really want Monique to do better, to keep her eye on the prize. It's not about the relationships. Yeah, that hurts. As long as you're human, relationships, friendships, that's going to hurt. But at the end of the day, this is a business and it's not personal. And you need to be strategic. And if somebody did something to you that you didn't like, you know what? Brush yourself off. Get back up and tell yourself, I'll never work with that person again. Let me pursue this other thing and make sure I don't make the same mistake. Make sure that I have everything in writing. Make sure that everything, every I is dotted, every T is crossed, because I'm here to make it. But let me know in the comments what you think about this. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see my takes on different topics. Please share it with others. Ask them what they think about what I said. And don't forget again to leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.